Special podcast, vibration and intent. I'm calling this a special podcast because, if I can articulate it well, hopefully, this just has great resonance to me. I think it's one of the most important topic ideas that I've ever thought about or talked about, and I'll try to explain why. So, there's a notion called harmonic resonance, which means that when you strike a chord, like a chord on a piano, another piano A chord will vibrate if it's in the vicinity, even though you haven't struck that. It just is stimulated by the vibration in the air, and is basically the basis, analogously, for the law of attraction, that we are a result of our thinking, and our thinking is basically a reflection of our vibration. That if we're very loving, we attract a lot of love in our life. Again, this is not a blame thing. I've talked about this elsewhere, because bad things do happen to good people, and there's a lot of different reasons for it. I mean, you could listen to some of my other podcasts, my views on it, because that's a whole major topic in itself. But harmonic resonance states that we attract or we vibrate. And string theory, which is the major theory of the universe now, of how it's constructed, is basically the same thing, saying that every object is just a vibration, a different vibration. That, a tree is a certain vibration. Obviously, there's many different kinds of trees. A rock is a certain vibration. Hydrogen is a certain vibration. Oxygen is a certain vibration. And our universe is just created out of these different vibrations. The law of attraction says the same thing, that our lives are just a reflection of our vibrations of energy that we have. As I was trying to say before, if we're very loving, then we attract a lot of love. And if we are very angry, we attract a lot of anger. Again, I would refer people, if you're interested, to my podcast about why bad things happen to good people, because too many people use the law of attraction to try to blame or justify other people, which is really wrong. You should never blame anyone for anything, and you shouldn't blame yourself either. I talk about that. I mean, that's my view. I'm sorry I have a little bit of a scratchy throat today. I'm a little bit under the weather, but and the idea of intent is applied to vibration, because two people can have the same actions, but have totally different intent. And your intent, like in the Bible, it says, I'm not sure if it's in the Bible, but I've heard it said before that, God knows our heart, and that our hearts will be made born out and known. Or they say, like, when you go to heaven, that, everything is revealed, basically. And intent, I think, is intrinsic to that, because when we do things out of a loving intent, it's transformative. Like A Course in Miracles says that our natural state is love, and that love is miraculous and the cause of miracles, and that when miracles are not happening, that something is wrong. And I'm losing my train of thought a little bit, but intent, so two actions can have, the same actions can have different intent. Like, there's a famous play, I think it's Les Miserables, but don't quote me if I'm wrong, that Jean Valjean, he gets arrested for stealing a loaf of bread, and there was an online version of a similar movie, I think it might be The Fugitive, where in that case the guy wasn't even guilty. He turns around at the guy chasing him, or maybe he had done a small thing. I can't remember. And he says, "I'm not guilty." And the guy chasing him says, "I don't care." So in this world, a lot of times we misinterpret legality with justice. I mean, following the law is incredibly, 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 incredibly important. Because we're a nation of laws and a civilization of laws. But justice is even much more important, because, like, in Jean Valjean, he stole a loaf of bread, but he stole it for his family. I mean, it was more just for him to steal the loaf of bread than it was for them to prosecute him. And that's a rare exception, because 99.9999% of the time, I think, you know, it's more just that people follow the law. I mean, laws are here for a reason, and again, you know, I'm a big kind of, not crime and punishment type person, but I'm a big, you know, do the right thing and you know, don't take shortcuts and follow the law type individual. So the overriding message, and why I think it's so important, is that the world is really just a reflection of our own mindset and our own thinking and our own heart. You know, they say the heart is even more important, or the soul, because it gives rise to our thinking and our feeling. And that in the law of attraction is one example. If we think something, it has power, because the world is manifested as a reflection of our thinking. But if we feel deeply about the thing that we're thinking, then it even has many times more or much greater impact or power. So you kind of are a very powerful person. We all are, because we create. Just think about your relationships and either good or bad things that you've, not bad, but, you know, mistakes people have made or whatever. Like, we realize sometimes that we had, you know, different thinking limitations that created our limitations in our life. Like, maybe we were jealous, or maybe we were petty, or maybe we were mean. And the significance also of this idea is, that I want to state, is that intent is the most important thing in the world, almost, because you know, we're sent here, or we come here, I believe, to kind of evolve in personal growth and be of service to others, in a servant mentality. And our intent in doing that is everything that is known about that and demonstrated about that. And that's why there's a famous expression that says, you know, well done, my good and faithful servant. That if we're true to our mission, if we're true to our highest calling, if we have pure intent, then we've done what we were called to do, and we are functioning at our highest level of vibration, our greatest good, our highest self.